Hey, welcome back to Over the Hill Acres. Hope everyone's doing well today. I've come out to the shed to do a little project today. It is actually pretty sunny out, beautiful looking. Temperature is about 67, pretty darn windy. That's a lot cooler than it's been in a long time here. It's been up in the 80s and mid 80s, and we had a temperature swing here, so it actually feels pretty cool. So I'm going to do a little project inside today. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. I just spent a little time with my granddaughter Quincy, and my wife is taking her home right at the moment. So I thought I'd come out here and do this little project that I've been wanting to do here. Let me show you what it is. A while back, I had purchased these Timberland boots for work. I like them really well, but it seems as I get older, things are harder to put on and take off. So, especially the taking off part, putting them on is okay. I'm going to build one of, I have no idea what they're called, but it's to catch your boot in and pull it off by the heel. So you don't have to bend over to pull them off or stand on the back. Standing on the back seems to mess them up over time anyways. So what we're going to do is cut a slot in this board here and put a little stand under it so it sits up, so you can lock your foot into the edge and just pull back, and it helps you remove your boots. I remember my grandfather had one and my dad had one at the house. I thought there was one here out in the barn, but I looked around and couldn't find it, so I'm going to build one quick. Okay, let's put a few marks on this board here. We'll bring that boot in about that far, I believe. Right there. Little screw under there. Kind of sits wonky. All right. Square line across there. Let's find the center. It's 8 inches, 4 is on the center. Now we want that to come back to a V. So I'm thinking if we come in, let's see. An inch on each side. And connect the dots here. There, got that little V there. Not sure if you can quite see that in the camera right now, but when you cut that notch out and then you pull your foot back in here, and that'll catch on the back of the boot, and then you can pull your foot out. Then there'll be a stand under this end here to hold that up like so, and you'll be able to stand on this side. I'll trim this up a little bit, shape it up, and make it look a little nicer, and then we'll sand it. All right, let me find my saws and we'll get going. One of the few tools I don't own that's battery operated is my jigsaw. It's still got a cord on it. Kind of makes you feel like you're getting old when everything else is battery operated, but cord jigsaws last forever. When you're cutting with a jigsaw, you always want to make sure when you're in the wood to let it stop totally before you pull it out, or else it always seems to hit the wood and bounce the saw all over. And if you're trying to do finish work, it really makes a mess out of it. All right, the first cut's done. So this is what it's going to look like. That's your foot will be in there. You'll bring that back, and that catches right on there. Then you just pull your foot out. So when we're done, we'll sand that all up and go from there. All right, let's see if we can figure out what I want to do with the back side of this. Well, actually, first of all, how high does this need to be? Because I got to be able to bring my foot in here, catch that on there, so it needs to be, let's see, about how high off the table, or the floor, I guess. Leave my foot on the floor with just a little height on it. So we're going to want that two inches, 2-inch piece. Okay, so we know we need this 2-inch piece right about where this line is. Let's see what I can find in my scrap pile over here. Okay, I found a piece of wood to use. I need to cut it at 8 inches. So we will mark this at 8 inches. And of course, I left my pencil on the desk over here. There we go. Let's mark this at 8 inches. Alrighty. And we'll take it back over here and double check, make sure it's the right width for what we need. Perfect. Now I got to make a little bevel on this on the table saw to make this fit right. And I'll be back. Well, I got the bevel put on it, as you can see. That's so when you put this on here, it'll sit flat on the floor and there won't be a gap in between it. So now I will glue it and screw it together. And then I'll shape up the other side and we'll sand it down quick and throw some finish on it and be done. Okay, I'm going to use Minwax tongue oil on this. It'll be a good sealer, help keep it waterproof. So when you got snow on your boots and stuff like that, it will not get all, it will not penetrate the wood. I'm going to put 2 coats on. Each coat's got to dry an hour. Well, the first coat's got to dry 2 hours before I can put the second coat on. And then in 24 hours, it'll be fully cured. So we'll get 1 coat on here now, and then I'll come back out later this evening and put the second coat on. That makes a good finish. I need a towel here so I can roll this thing over on it. Let me do the underneath here. Pretty tricky trying to do this and not get it on the dirty table, but for what it is, it's not a finished piece of furniture or anything, so I'm not too concerned if I get a little in it, but I want it to look fairly decent. So doing it with these brushes are really nice because they're throwaway, plus they soak some up so you can move it to different places and just push on the brush a little and it comes right out of there. Then you can wipe it on again. You don't waste much with using these foam brushes. Now if I was doing a piece of furniture, I'd be hand wiping this on with lint-free rags. A little bit more picky when I go to do furniture and that kind of woodworking projects, which I enjoy doing. Like I said in previous videos, I did a crib. It was my last project for my granddaughter that was just born. To my daughter, she's my only daughter, so she kind of got a little spoiled there. I got 5 sons also. And some of them have children too, but she's the only one that got the crib so far. Hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to make a few things for their children. Once I retire here, I'll have a lot more time, and I really enjoy woodworking, so you'll see more of these type of projects. Okay, I'm going to just take this square and lay this down and set that on it so it's not touching the table, so it doesn't stick to it. And the same with this end. I will put this other square under it so it won't be sticking. It won't hurt the squares any. But there. Get a good view of it here. See, that looks really nice. Tongue oil works nice. Okay, I got my mess all cleaned up, tools put away. I unplug all my saws for safety purposes so nobody gets cut by accident. Everything's taken care of. I'm going to go in the house and grab some supper. I just wanted to tell you something really quick. This tongue oil that I used from Minwax, do not use that on children's toys or cribs or chairs or anything to do with children. Although tongue oil is a good finish for children's toys, not the brand name stuff. This brand name stuff has chemicals in it to help dry time and things like that. If you're going to use tongue oil on children's toys, which it is highly recommended to use it, make sure you get pure tongue oil. You can buy it right on Amazon. A lot of the major hardwares carry it and stuff, but just make sure it's pure tung oil, because this has distillers in it and oil-based products. If you get it from like Minwax or some of the other Bear or PGP or PPG, I mean, things like that, theirs all have distillers in it to help them cure and dry quicker. And pure tung oil is recommended for children's products, so just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that if you did not know that. So I believe I'm going to head into the house now and grab a bite to eat. The wife should be back shortly. She just took my granddaughter Quincy home, and we'll relax for the evening. I need to make sure I take this with me, because I'll be looking for it in the morning. I'll sure as heck forget I left it out here, so I have it in my hand now. So, all right, I hope you have a good night. I'll be back and talk to you again sometime soon. If you enjoyed this video and got anything out of it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you so like to. And I will see you on the next one.